Hey guys, it's me Jennifer, and today I'm taking a break from working on the Opel GT since we're waiting on a gas tank for that, and I'm going to be working on Diamond, my 1967 Plymouth Fury VIP. I'm going to be hunting down a really bad coolant leak that she has, as well as changing her oil and a couple of belts. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so I got a new radiator installed in Diamond. It was a couple of winters ago, and ever since then, she's had this really bad coolant leak. So I'm really hoping that this is just like a really loose hose clamp or something like that. But I haven't had a chance to get her up in the air and try to find out where the leak was coming from. Let's go ahead and pop open her hood and get to hunting. So Diamond tends to leak the coolant when she's parked and cold. And at startup, until she's at operating temperature, she makes a really nice kind of ticking sound. So hopefully all of this is just related, but she does lose a fair bit of coolant while sitting. When I got her out of storage yesterday, her radiator was bone dry. So I really need to figure out where this is going. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check around the water pump and the freeze plugs first. There's no coolant being mixed in the oil or vice versa, so I don't think it's like a head gasket thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at those places before I crawl underneath and check for hoses and stuff. Okay, looking around the water pump. I don't see anything. Nothing around the thermostat either. I don't see much from this side either. Now that I have her in the garage and she's sitting, I can already see some drips. So instead of trying to hunt this down in the storage unit where she always has a drip pan underneath her, I can actually get a better clue of where the leak's coming from. Trying to see what would be leaking from here. It's really hard to tell where this leak is coming from. Two, there's like no logical place where it would be dripping from. Okay, not sure if you guys can see that, but up there behind the starter on the driver's side of the block is a freeze plug, and that might be the culprit, because that would explain why everything like the oil pan and the front of the transmission belt housing is a little bit wet. But I don't know if I have the energy or time today to try to change that out. So that might be a later problem. All right, since I'm not going to attempt to change out the freeze plug today, I'm just going to go ahead and change the oil since she's up on ramps right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's hope I don't make a huge mess. No, we just wait. And wait and wait and wait. Okay, that's probably good enough. There we go. That's good to go. Onto the oil filter. Let's see which one of these wrenches works. I'm gonna guess it's this one, since it's the biggest. Why is this so tight? Get some oil on my finger, lube up. Gasket. Just gonna do a quick little touch up. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, I used to have a bigger funnel, and I have no idea where it went, so I'm going to use this little dinky thing. So hopefully I have no spillage as I add all of this. Just a little bit of spillage. Almost there. So there's that slight tick from her coolant. It can get a little bit worse for a little bit. I'm going to have to diagnose it a little bit more, and I don't have the time for that today. So I'm going to call today done and check back in tomorrow. Okay, so I'm at the storage unit. I had to move Diamond undercover the other day because of a round of storms that came in. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and try to tackle changing out the belts. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do this without having to take the fan off. I think I can shimmy the belts kind of around the fan blades. As you can see, the belts are starting to crack. I have no idea when these were last replaced. And there's times when I crank her and there's a nice whine from the belts. So I think it's just time to swap them out. That should be loose enough to do stuff. Okay, that worked. I got the tensioner pulley undone on the fan belt. Now it's off. There we go. That's not happening. Ow. Who torqued this? That's off. That's off. And that's off. So this is the one that goes around the alternator and the AC, which I don't really need to connect to the AC, but it's fine. That's power steering. How are you supposed to do this with one person? It's not enough tension. It's almost enough tension. That's even worse. Okay, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. All right, let's get the other one on. Why is it when I tighten it, it loosens? Don't tell me I stripped that, because now it's loose again. So I'm going to torque down the fan belt and the rest of the bolts and see what I should do about this alternator screw. Okay, it's the next day. Went ahead and did some research and figured out that a heli-coil kit is probably the best solution here, besides buying a new alternator, and I don't want to spend that money. It works fine. So picked up a kit, got a new drill bit, and hopefully all goes well. Ugh. There we go. Tap hole. Now, for one of these. Okay, so I can't take the tang out. There we go. Let's also not try to crush my fingers. Oh, that's nice. That's really satisfying. Well, fine. I did also realize that one of my wires is like kind of melted. For those of you wondering, I somehow managed to get the crescent wrench wedged on a frame bolt. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and start her up. Make sure she actually works. And if so, we're good to go. Okay, the only other thing I did was change the gas cap. I kind of wonder, so I'm going to go find the old one, see if that makes a difference. I don't get it. She's acting like she's not getting any fuel or something. I'm bamboozled. Okay, so I've tried a couple times to start her. I've retightened things on the alternator, checked connections. The belts are rotating and I have no idea what's going on. It sounds like she's starving for fuel. And when I spray starting fluid down the carb, there might be a couple times where she seems hopeful, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this video there and troubleshoot a little bit more later. I'm gonna plug her in to the battery tender, see if she just needs a good charge or something. I imagine she wouldn't, but who knows? If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to help support the channel, go ahead to thegearheadgirl.com and you can get some exclusive content and things like that. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.